evening on what is my first webinar. What I'm going to get you to do, first of all, is just take a nice deep breath in. I want everybody to just be present, relax, and enjoy the next 30 minutes or so. I'm going to take you on a little bit of a story, a little journey, share with you some things that have been exciting me lately. Whatever you can do or dream you can do, begin it now. You are listening to me right now because you're probably looking for some kind of a solution, maybe a health solution, or maybe you're just looking for something more. So be open-minded while you're listening, because I'm going to share with you a little bit more than just a healthcare solution. I'm going to share with you something that's turned into something more for me and my family. Let me ask you first, how many of you are really excited to wake up every single day? This is a tough question because many of us are not excited when we wake up. We're not feeling great in every way, physically, financially, emotionally. I have some solutions that I'm going to talk about this evening that are really awesome healthcare solutions which have helped myself, my family, and so many other people, but not just in a health way. For most people, yes, health is the #1 thing, but there's also been another solution that I'm going to share with you this evening, and that's a financial solution. And I can assure you that none of us, none of the people that I show you in this presentation tonight would be sharing these solutions if we hadn't received great health benefits. So get ready. We're going to talk a little bit about the opportunity of Isagenix this evening, and I'm going to share with you the amazing products, and I'm going to show you some really awesome transformations along the way. First of all, if you're going to take action in life, you need to have a powerful reason. If you don't have a powerful reason, you're not going to do anything about it. I can talk all I want, but nobody out there is going to change what they're doing right now unless they have a powerful reason. So I want you to dig deep for just a minute. What is your powerful reason to take action? Why are you listening to this information? Why were you interested in a healthcare solution? Are you having amazing sleep? Do you have enough energy to play with your kids? Do you get out of bed easily in the morning, ready to face the day? Do you have muscle tissue, that life force-giving muscle tissue that will carry you throughout the day, throughout your future, into your 70s, 80s, 90s? Have you gained a lot of unwanted pounds in the last few years? Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? And most importantly, if you don't make a change now, if you don't start doing something differently, what will the impact be on you and your loved ones 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now? Those are some important questions. And before I talk about the healthcare solution, I want to talk about one of the biggest problems we have right now. Many of us are just not happy in our jobs. We don't feel fulfillment. For some of us, this isn't an issue. You're happy, you're doing something you love, but are you getting paid what you're worth? That's the second question to ask yourself. Did you know that you'll spend over 86,000 hours in the next year at work? That's a lot of hours. The problem is that most of those hours aren't lighting you up. They're not making you feel like you're contributing or you're having some sense of fulfillment. And what that leads to? Well, we feel stress. And right now, stress is at an all-time high. And stress is the root cause of so many illnesses that we're dealing with today. Yet, what do? We keep on keeping on. We get on that GO train. We get in our cars. We spend hours commuting to and from work, thinking that maybe one day when I retire, I will do some things that I really want to do. You're afraid to change, afraid to try something new, maybe afraid to step out of your comfort zone. So let's just take us another minute here. Close your eyes for just a second. And I want you to think, is there anything else you'd rather be doing with those 86,000 hours? If you open your eyes, maybe you can just imagine a few things, how nice it would feel if you could possibly be doing some of the things that you are thinking about doing when you retire, maybe doing that right now, like being able to travel more, being able to take your kids on vacation, having some time freedom in your life, being able to set your own schedule, getting up and starting work when you want to work. For me, being able to work out when I want to work out. Well, network marketing is an option. And our solution, with our healthcare solution that we're going to talk about tonight, Isagenix, it is a direct sales company. So that's a network marketing company. And there's never been a better time to use this kind of way to earn extra income in your life. There's never been a better time, because today with the internet, with Facebook, with texting and emails and being able to quickly get in touch with people, you can work part-time and still create a full-time income, and that's what many of us are finding when we open our eyes to this opportunity. And the slide you're looking at right now, 82% of women in the United States, I had to show this slide because when I first saw this stat, I was dumbfounded. I couldn't believe it because, you know, I always wondered, well, okay, yes, some people do really great with direct sales, but is that for everybody, or how, you know, can I really have success with that as well? But then I saw this, and I went, wow, that's, you know, more than 3/4 of the women in the United States are doing it, making a 6-figure income. And that's something to open up our minds to for sure. So what do you need first of all? Well, before you can join anything, you need some great solutions, right? And Isagenix has some awesome solutions. And if the solutions work, why not share the solutions? That's why we chose to partner with Isagenix, because the solutions were so great with weight loss, energy and performance, healthy aging, skincare. The solutions have been so amazing that we've decided to partner with them and share these solutions with other people. And the problem right now that we're all facing is that our food is just not what it used to be. So when I first, you know, years ago looked into, people were always approaching me with products over the years, always approaching me with products. But my husband and I were always, you know, as healthcare professionals that we are, my husband's a dentist, I'm a certified trainer, we're both into nutrition, health, exercise. We speak all over North America about these things, providing professional development to mostly at dental conferences, other big businesses and companies. And we were always just talking about sleeping, eating, exercising, you know, stress reduction. But we saw a problem. Our audiences were getting bigger and bigger. And I don't mean more people in the seats. I mean the seats were starting to look smaller. The people are looking bigger. And that, we knew there was an issue there and something was missing. And you know, all our research, and we're reading and we're seeing that the foods are just not what they used to be. So even though I was eating clean and I was an organic eater, there was still a problem. And so many people tell me, well, I eat so well, I try so hard to do this and I'm eating organic. But if your food is depleted in nutrition because of the overprocessing of our, you know, the overfarming of our soils, and then the pesticiding, herbiciding, all that's going on in our world right now, well, there's a problem there. The minerals aren't there, the vitamins aren't there, the nutrition is just not there in the food anymore. And right now we have an all-time high of obesity. It's awful. You know, almost half of the U.S. is obese, and Canada's not far behind. We used to be able to brag that we were doing really well, but we can't do that anymore. We're almost catching up. 1 out of 6 children obese, that's a problem. I wanted to share with you a little bit about my story before I started using Isagenix. My firstborn son, you can see in the pictures there, so that was my very first child. He was born with a condition called lissencephaly, or smooth brain. So we were told he would not live very long. We were told that we had to prepare for seizures. If we were to keep him alive, he would need to be fed by a G-tube in his stomach. He would never walk, talk, sit up by himself, or do anything that normal children do. Basically, he would be like a baby for as long as he lived, and we were told we'd be lucky if he was around for a couple, 1 or 2 years. So you can imagine, my son lived to be 8 years old, and the stress and anxiety that I dealt with a complex care medically fragile child, who, I mean, he was our first baby. We loved him just as much as we love any of our other children. But dealing with that had me in a really bad position. The stress was awful. My hair was falling out. I had nails split right down the middle. Digestive tract issues. Digestive tract is one of the first things to be impacted when you're under high stress and anxiety. So I was facing all these issues, and then the worst part, panic attacks. I was so scared to go and do what I love to do, to go and speak and inspire and motivate other people to take action on what they really want to do, that I had to actually cancel speaking engagements because I couldn't leave the city. I was scared that something was going to happen to my son. I was scared he might pass away or die while I was away. Something, awful might happen. So you can imagine we're pretty much down to a single income family at that point in time because I couldn't travel anymore with panic. So my husband was going out to do all the speaking on top of, being a practicing dentist during the week. And that was where life was at. And 2 years ago, not just 2 years ago, my son passed away. So you can imagine the stress there as well. So at that point in my life, I was in an all-time low. And thank God somebody, a very close friend of mine named Sheila Rinelli, who many of you have heard of or know, walked into my home after I hadn't seen her for just over 3 months. And I'm going to share with you the difference. So Sheila on the left was the Sheila that I knew. She was not feeling very well. She had gone through some very stressful breakup. She was a single mom of 2. She was working 2 jobs to pay the bills. And you can see on the right, there's the Sheila that walked in my home. 3.5 months I hadn't seen her. And she walked in my home looking like that. That was when I stood up and said, hey, I need to take a look at what you're doing. And she told me all about Isagenix, the health solutions, a little bit about, that she was sharing with other people and that she was getting paid to do that. And that was fine, but I was interested in the health because when I saw what she had done with herself, with her body, with the way she was feeling and the way she was glowing, I knew that I wanted a solution like that to share with other people because people look to me as a resource for health and fitness, and I wanted something I could trust, and who better than someone you already trust to show you something. So here I sat down, and I was the supposed expert in health and wellness, and I had my friend sharing with me this amazing solution. She didn't know all the ingredients in the product. She didn't know why they were maybe so amazingly well put together in a system, but she knew enough to be able to tell me it was based on good research. She was able to direct me to websites that the person that invited you tonight to listen to this webinar will be able to show you. She directed me to the websites with actual clinical studies showing me how good this product was, showing me that what I would be doing in this program and sharing with others is based on scientific research, the scientific research of intermittent fasting, which then Isagenix has turned into a nutritionally supported cleansing program. So when I saw this research and I saw the products and I saw my friend, putting it all together was a no-brainer. I said, you know what, I need to give this a try because I had still a little bit of a dream in my mind that perhaps, if I could feel good again, if I could feel the way I knew I was supposed to be feeling, the way I used to feel before my son was born when I was a world-class fitness competitor, that perhaps I could have that dream again and walk on that stage again and flip and tumble and do what I really love to do. So I started my Isagenix program, and it was within months, within weeks, I noticed something was different, but within months my digestive tract was healing. I was able to digest food, and I was able to have daily bowel movements, which is a lot of information, but I had been constipated severely for years from stress. So that was a huge thing for me to be able to get back in the gym again because you can't train very hard when you're not functioning in all ways, especially in your digestive tract. So I started training, and I started training hard, and I started feeling so good. I had more energy than I'd had in years. My anxiety was immediately, back down to a normal level, and I had forgotten what it felt like not to be anxious and in panic all the time. I had forgotten how good that felt to be able to just wake up and breathe deep and smile and enjoy the day. So after a few months on Isagenix, I knew that I could get that dream back again. I started training hard again for a fitness competition, and what I noticed during my training, my recovery time was way better. It was so much easier to get lean. I was doing way less cardio than I'd ever done before I had the children. And remember, this is after having 4 children. So this is just 10 months ago that I competed. So after having 4 children, I was getting leaner with less cardio and less exercise. I was only doing 4 days a week on weights where I used to do 5. I had better focus. I was tumbling in gymnastics, and I learned some new tricks that I'd never been able to do before I had kids. I was taking at least like a whole day off every week. I had to. And you know, when I was single and I was traveling all over the world before I had children competing in women's fitness, I used to train 3 to 4 hours a day, 3 to 4 hours most days of the week. With this competition, having 4 children, busy home life, I never did more than 2 hours a day. It was fabulous, and I'll show you the result. Yeah, that's me. At 44 years young, after 4 children, after the loss of my son, I reclaimed my passion for fitness, and I stood up on a fitness stage again, and it felt so good to relive, you know, my passion for fitness and just say, hey, like, if you can turn things around, if you can take action, and if you can, you know, find these amazing solutions and get on this program, look what you can do, and look how much vitality you can have. And it was amazing to get back up there. And just the fact that that I was able to do that at this age after everything we had gone through, I mean, I didn't need any more testimony than that. So I started sharing Isagenix with everybody after that. So what is Isagenix? Well, it's an awesome solution, life-changing products. You can see a nice big picture there of all the different products that are offered. There's even more now. They're always, every year, coming up with some new things. We start with a good meal replacement shake. Now, why are these important? When I first looked at this with my nutritional background, I saw that there was no soy, no GMOs, and when it comes to weight loss, that's one of our biggest solutions, and it's one that I share the most because that's the biggest problem we face right now. But the weight loss was huge for me because that's a topic I often speak about. And when we want weight loss, we need calorie low, we need glycemic index low to keep insulin low, and we want nutrient dense, and that's exactly what these shakes are doing. There's no artificial sweeteners. There's digestive enzymes in there, which are really important, and they taste great. That was also huge for me, to have something that tastes good and was giving me all these benefits, and putting this system together, how well it would work for weight loss. It's helped hundreds of people that I have personally helped in the last 2 years. Now, the nice thing about this, too, is that it's not just a one-size-fits-all. So they do have that shake that I just showed you that's 24 grams of protein. But if you're an athlete, if you're a man or a woman who lifts weights, works out fairly hard, or if you've hit a plateau, we can bump up to a 36 grams of protein, the Isoline Pro, which is awesome to have that availability. And I usually am bumping people up to this one after they hit a plateau, or like I said, if someone decides to start exercising and they just need that little bit of extra nutrition, there it is. And the dairy-free line, how amazing is that? Because there's so many people that have problem with dairy. We actually have a dairy-free line that tastes good, and it gives you that complete spectrum of amino acids, which is very hard to find in a dairy-free formula. The Ionic Supreme, one of my absolute favorite products, and there's a lot of information there, but basically the important thing to know is that this is the cortisol bouncer. So if you're stressed out, you're anxious, you're not sleeping well, this is a product that's really going to help out with that. And the nice thing is that this product, personally for me, helped me save hundreds of dollars and clean out a small shelf in my cupboard that was filled with individual bottles of some of the ingredients that are in this product. So I was buying these products as prescribed by a naturopathic doctor prior to Isagenix, all in individual bottles, having to constantly, take one of these to help with my stress. Sorry, I'll just keep going. And the Cleanse for Life. So the Cleanse for Life, this is based on what the biggest part of our program is and why it works the best, I think, for weight loss and, of course, for healthy aging. We give an intermittent fast or a time where you're not eating solid foods. It gives your body a break from the digestion of solid food, which we know in the digestive tract is over 70% of your immune system. So if you give the body a break from digestion, which takes up so much energy in the body, you can actually start healing that digestive tract. Your body goes into accelerated healing. It can start, your immune system will be boosted. So we know that this has such great benefits. Your growth hormone is through the roof after a cleanse day or an intermittent fast day. Now, most people go out and try and do a fast, and they stop eating and they're just drinking water, maybe throwing some lemon in it. But with Isagenix, you're actually given nutritional support, which is why I love it, because people are maintaining their muscle mass and even gaining lean muscle mass, even though they're doing these fasting days. And we have a lot of different schedules, so depending on what suits your life, you could be fasting once a week, you could be fasting twice a week, and you know, we do it all in a very safe manner and supported by this Cleanse for Life, which is trace mineral dense. And if you remember from earlier, I showed you that one of the problems with today's food is we're missing out on the vitamins and the minerals. So this supports you on that cleanse day. Ageless Essentials, these have been awesome for myself and my husband. So convenient, because when you're into health, you know you need a supplement. You know you're not getting all of the things that you need. So with this, it's the convenience of having an AM pack and a PM pack that you can just tear open, have one with your breakfast, have one with your dinner. The formulation is absolutely fabulous, and the person who directed you to this webinar can direct you to our websites to read more information about why this is so good. We have podcasts available from the scientists, from the people who have the master's education in science and nutrition. These are the kind of people who we're working with, the people who are and they're studying nutrition in and out day after day. So I no longer have to be the expert and reading, you know, thousands of journals that are coming across my emails and my doorstep every day. I can just go to my Isagenix resources and I can see that all the research has been done for me. So the Ageless Essentials Amazing comes in a men's pack and a women's pack. And then, of course, the Isagenesis Product B. I love this product because we were talking for years before I heard about Isagenix. We had started seeing telomere research, and we were talking about it as it related to exercise. We know that people who exercise have longer telomeres, so that's one of the signs of aging. They're the ends of your chromosomes. They degrade as you age, like everything does in our body. But how beautiful that if you exercise intensely, you can slow down the degradation of your telomeres. How amazing is it that if you're sleeping better, if you're having less stress, you can slow that down. And now we have research, and we have research with our products to show that we can support those telomeres with nutrition. So this is a very new area of research, very exciting, and we can direct you to more resources to see more about that too. And the clinical study that I mentioned earlier, we have a clinical study, and we have more than one now, but this one has been published. It was an award-winning study, and the important thing to note here is that people using Isagenix versus the heart-healthy medical doctor diet, people on Isagenix lost twice as much visceral fat. Now, if you've heard the word visceral fat before, then you would know that's the fat in and around your internal organs. That's the dangerous fat that's spewing out inflammation promoting components into the body. So we want to get rid of that fat. We don't want that hanging around, and Isagenix is very successful with getting rid of that. So let's just take a look here at some people that made some amazing changes that I've helped along the way. There's one person that I wasn't particularly involved with, but I'll show you some transformations here. So this is Sandy, and Sandy, you can see on the left, that was her start picture. For 10 years, she was complaining of low energy. She's wearing compression stockings on her legs. She stands all day at her job. And when we started using the Isagenix, it was really interesting because in the first couple of weeks, she started losing weight right away. But she wasn't getting the energy that everyone else was talking about. And that's when she finally realized, hey, maybe I should switch over to the dairy-free. And she didn't know all these years that she was dealing with a bit of an intolerance to lactose. Anyway, she switched over to our dairy-free system, and this woman released over 24 pounds. She's maintained for over a year. You can see over on the right there, has a svelte, beautiful new body. And the cool thing is that body's going to get even better because now she has the energy. She's now working out, swimming twice a week, and resistance training twice a week, and she hasn't exercised in 10 years. And no more compression stockings, I have to say about Sandy. Okay, this is one of my absolute all-time favorite transformations. Val was in her 40s, so about the same age as me. And when I first met her, she was in her young 40s. Very small girl, like 5'2", but she was 185 pounds. She had 6 kids, and when her husband walked out on her, he said, "Good luck finding someone else, you fat bee." I think you can fill in the blank. Well, Val was not only lucky that she found us, thank goodness. She was willing and open to give this a try, and she trusted us. So she was using Isagenix, and she lost a lot of that weight that you'll see there. She also did weight training and started training really hard, working out. And you're not going to believe this, but this is Val after. Yeah, I know there's some gasping going on right now, even though I can't hear you. But Val turned her life right around and actually trained for a bodybuilding competition after that. Before it's hard to imagine that she did that. Now, I didn't specifically work with Kelly, but this is just an amazing to show somebody who's lost 100 pounds, or sorry, 80 pounds. She's lost around 80 pounds. So this is someone that's lost a lot of body fat. And you can see that there's, when you lose weight, now Kelly started lifting weights as well. So she did resistance training. So when she lost the weight, she's not showing sagging skin or, she looks amazing because she lifted weights and gives her that muscle tone and helps tighten up. And with our products, that's a very common phenomenon. People lose weight and they still look great after. Sheila Ranelli there, you might recognize on the left. Remember my friend that walked in and shared with me? Well, look at her over on the right. She actually went on to compete too. And beside her is Monique. So these are 2 girls that I helped train. Sheila introduced me to Isagenix, but then I turned around and trained her, and Monique, who I introduced to Isagenix, introduced her to Isagenix, and they both competed in women's physique type events where they were judged on their overall aesthetics and muscle tone and their healthy fit bodies, and it was very exciting to see them do that. And Monique, just for a quick aside, started sharing Isagenix with other people. She has dropped down from 5 days at her JOB to only 4 days a week now, and for the first time, her sons, who are, I think it's 8 and 10 or around that age, her sons are going to go on a plane and fly to Florida for the very first time, and that's exciting. And that was because of Isagenix and sharing Isagenix and the extra income she was able to create with that. Craig Coleman, now there's 100 pounds. So over 100 pounds released, you can see, and obviously Craig worked out too. And Sherry Peterson, I have to share Sherry's story because Sherry Peterson, she was in her 60s, young 60s. Well, there's her after, a little before I wanted to. But anyway, Sherry in her young 60s, she was overweight, had never been able to get under like a size 12 or so, was the smallest she could ever get on her own. Anyway, she's been using Isagenix successfully, and you saw her after picture, and I love her quote. She says, "This is my time to turn it all around." And she's been maintaining now at this lovely size. And actually, she's got quite the poignant story. Her husband passed away about a year ago while I was helping her through this transformation. And the Ionic Supreme, she said, and just having the stability of Isagenix in her home as she was dealing with that, really made it possible for her to get through that and to come out on the other side. And happy to report that Sherry's now working out hard and training because she's getting remarried. And it's funny because I've been talking to Sherry for a couple of years now and then helping her out with Isagenix, and I've never actually met Sherry. That's the neat thing about this. Sherry reached out to me through the internet when she saw me posting about Isagenix, and I feel like she's one of my family members, and I've never met this woman, and I was able to help her because of this system showing up at her doorstep and me just giving her motivation and inspiration to stay the course. And maintenance, Now, check this out, because I know a lot of you are saying, well, what do I do after I lose the weight? I'm going to gain it all back. No, not on our program. We have a new college study, a new Skidmore College study. They followed people for 12 months after they lost their weight with Isagenix. People who used the Isagenix in maintenance maintained their weight loss, fat loss, and visceral fat loss, and they increased their lean muscle mass. So that will be published soon. Right now, we just got the preliminary results, and it is going to be published study. So very exciting. Maintenance is possible. And the person that shared with you will be able to give you some ideas about maintenance, because the nice thing about this program is you follow the system to the letter when you want to lose weight. When you get to where you want to be, maintenance looks different for everybody. And I've had phone calls where I just get some people in our group to share what their maintenance solution is, and it's different for everyone. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about the opportunity side of it. Just a quick disclaimer. Obviously, when I'm showing you some people who have had financial transformations, this is going to depend on how much work you want to put into it. So people who are doing amazingly well, making a lot of money sharing Isagenix, they're putting their time into it. They've basically dedicated the time and the energy into doing this as a full-time job at some point. But there's many of us, and myself included, working part-time hours. I'm like 15 to 20 hours a week, basically, and and it's turning into a full-time salary for me, which is really awesome. But I have people in my team that are sharing this as well, and they're doing maybe 2 to 10 hours a week and creating extra residual income in their life. So here's just some great before and after pictures you can see. Dave, former mechanic, has an amazing story. If you ever get a chance to see or hear him speak, absolutely fabulous. And you can see he went from $26,000 a year as a mechanic, and he has children and a family to support. He was at a really low in his life. He turned that around, and he's making like around $1 million a year. Wow. Carolyn, so I know Carolyn personally. She was a flight attendant, and now she high six-figure income earner, just from sharing these solutions with other people. And there you can see Kayla as well. So what attracted me to this? Well, the main thing for me was that I was going to be able to stop the traveling. I mean, I love speaking. I love motivating people. But traveling, packing up suitcases, leaving my children with nannies and, going to locations, all that's involved, it wasn't satisfying me anymore. Getting up on the stage was great, but leaving my kids was starting to cause me not to feel well anymore. I just felt like I was overwhelmed. I was spending so much time on the road and all the time on prep. I'd have to say, no, I can't play with you now because I got to prep for my next speaking engagement. My children saw me preparing this webinar the other day, and my daughter said, oh, you're going somewhere, eh? And I was able to say, no, I'm not. I'm going to sit at home after I put you to bed, and I'm going to share this with people on the computer. And she gave me a hug. It was so nice. And just some things that have happened over the last, it's not even been 2 years yet since I joined Isagenix. I've met some of the most fabulous people. I've shared with some amazing people. I've seen amazing transformations happening for our family. My little girls are able to dance. They're able to do gymnastics and go into the sports they want to do without me feeling nervous and wondering, how I'm going to be saving up for their education, because I see the power of this. And even when I take a couple weeks off, we were able to take them to the Atlantis Hotel this year, and we were able to rent a cottage last summer without worrying about taxes and how we were going to pay that. And it's just such a wonderful feeling to have that I can work at home, take care of my kids, and make sure our family keeps running smoothly on the home front, and I'm able to help so many people just from the comfort of my own home. So what does Isagenix do for you? That's a great question. Well, they provide you with everything you need to make this happen. So all you need to do is share your story. That's all you need to do. Start sharing your story, and the rest will come to you because you're going to be supported. You will have the person that helps you start out with Isagenix. If you decide to share with other people, everyone that's helped you start with Isagenix will pitch in to help you start sharing as well. We have fantastic websites. We have scientific teams. Isagenix sells the product. We just share the solutions. Isagenix Someone said to me, oh, you're a salesperson? I said, no, no. My passion is helping others, with transformations and weight loss and healthy aging and energy. And I said, no, I'm a share person, not a salesperson. So Isagenix takes care of all the shipping, the packing. They have a great, in the first 30 days, if people aren't happy, you don't have to feel bad about that or worry. Isagenix will take care of them and give them a full money back rebate. So they'll give them their money back. They have events and training. You even have a website for you to use. And you know what the cool thing about all this is as soon as you get an Isagenix system, you're just paying for your nutritionals that you will be eating that month and for the next couple of months. You'll be eating what you pay for. As soon as you do that and you buy a membership in Isagenix, which is only $29, you will automatically be in business if you want to be, if you choose to be. You have the same opportunity anybody else does to be in business if you choose to be. So there's no extra investment or cost if you decide to go from product user to product sharer. What do you need to do? Well, of course, we've got to be great at building relationships. You have to be a product of the product. You need to have the transformation, and you need to be using your products, of course. You want to share your physical success. And if you have a financial success story, you start to earn some income or you get some money back from Isagenix, you want to share that. And you have to use the tools and, of course, go to some events. But success just doesn't show up, right? You have to go to it. So it's time to get started. And the way you get started is by sharing the gift that you got from someone. So Sheila gave me an incredible gift that's helped me reclaim my fitness, reclaim my energy, reclaim my enthusiasm for life and everything healthy. And then I've now chosen to share that with people who have dreams and people who need solutions. And it doesn't matter if it's just solutions, that's fine. And then people who look at it more for an opportunity, that's awesome. We help them all. You plus two. So you're going to get paid as soon as you share with some people. And when you get two people, when you share with two people, you get a $50 bonus just right for sharing with your first two. You get referral bonuses for those people showing up too. And that's going to be, if two people in 1 week join you, it's going to be somewhere between $100 and $320 for two people getting started. Then we teach those people that they can, enjoy the products, and if they want, if they choose, they can share with some other people. If they would like to get some money back and help pay for their own products, then they can share with two people, and they can get that money back that you received as well. Now, when you help, because obviously you're going to invest some time showing that person how to share, showing them how to create a membership for someone, that's basically all it is, showing them how to use their system, which is very well explained, but of course you want to make sure that you're there for them. You'll get paid a bonus for helping them. You'll get $100 for helping someone else share with two people. So you can see how quickly that could add up. In the first 30 days of sharing Isagenix, if you actually get this done, you share with two and they share with two, you will get another $250 bonus. It can add up pretty quickly. So within that first 30 days, even in your first week if you want, you can have between $600 to $820+. Now that's quite a bit of cash just for sharing a solution. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. And that's all it really comes down to, right, is just taking action and being ready. And if you have a powerful reason to take action, if you're ready to take action, if you're ready to have a health transformation, maybe even a monetary transformation, then what you need to do right now is just contact the person who shared this webinar with you, the person who shared our products with you, and you will be greatly supported, because one thing I found out in this company, we're like a great big family, and whether you're just a product user needing some health solutions, or if you actually are interested in sharing with other people, we will be there for you. And how are you going to get started? You're just going to order a package. And I want you to think right now, what 2 meals would you replace out with some Isagenix meals? Because when you're in weight loss mode, that's what we do. We put you on this controlled plan that is including real food as well, so actual whole fork and knife food, but you're going to have the shakes, which will keep your calories low. Remember what I said, calories low, glycemic index low, but nutrition dense. You're going to have those, and you're going to have a healthy meal that you prepare, and you're going to have healthy food snacks as well. And that's all you need to be thinking of, is what 2 meals could I replace? And think, where are you spending money right now? How much would those 2 meals cost you in your daily life? Are you going out for lunch? How much do you spend when you go out for lunch? How much do you spend when you're at the Starbucks? How much do you spend when you're out, having junk food with your friends, or you're out picking at something because you're so hungry and you didn't pack a healthy snack? So when you add up all those dollars, it really does make sense, because we have great packages that can get anybody what they need. You can start off with a President's Pack that really gives you a wide variety of almost everything the company has to offer, and sets you up to start sharing right away, which is awesome. Or you can just start out with $272. That's a month's worth of product. That's replacing 2 meals a day. So 2 meals a day, you're redirecting money that you're already spending anyways. You're going to get some amazing nutrition, get some amazing benefits, and you will start to get the results that you're looking for, and then you have that opportunity to share with others and possibly create some extra income for your family. So are you ready? Are you ready to invest in your health right now so you don't regret it later? Are you ready to start having some extra income possibly? Are you ready to be an example, inspire some change in other people's lives? I encourage you to really talk to the person that shared this with you and let them know if you're ready. Because I always say to everyone I speak to, let's change before you have to. Because what's often happening is something comes up and just kicks your legs right out from under you, and then you're really looking for some solutions. You're very motivated. Why not do that now before that something comes along and kicks your legs out from under you? Get started now, turn your life around, create the change, and be the person that you want to be today. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was awesome talking to everybody.